Let's get into our morning mix, shall we? We're going to start with Twilight. Remember that phenomenon? Well, a TV series based on the fantasy romance novels is reportedly in early development at Lionsgate's TV. Author Stephanie Meyer, who is expected to be involved in the series, published the first Twilight novel back in 2005, followed by 3 more through 2008. More than 100 million copies have been sold worldwide. They were adapted into a hugely popular 5-movie franchise that became known as the Twilight Saga. The movies combined went on to gross over $1 billion. People still talk about Twilight to this day. I watched the first movie. I hadn't watched the rest.
They will shame you if you haven't read the books or watched the movie. I know, a little shame. But this is going to be very popular, and I think it's going to explode, and it's probably going to attract more viewers because people are now into binge watching a lot. And if they find, if it gets the social media stamp of binge worthy, I think it will attract even a bigger crowd.
Now, they haven't decided if it's going to follow the books. Like they've gotten their writer, but they haven't decided if the actual series is going to actually follow the books or just kind of be an offshoot of it. You know, it could be a prequel to it. It could be a sequel to it. Who knows? But
I think fans
that's going to be popular.
Fans are going to be there for it, however they decide to do it. All right, so exciting news here, Kristen, from one of my favorite bands, the Foo Fighters, are releasing their first album since the death of longtime drummer Taylor Hawkins. It's called But Here We Are, and the band says it's a testament to the healing powers of friends, family, and music. Most of the album is coming this summer, but the new single, Rescued, is out now as a part of the announcement. A toxicology report shows that Hawkins had a list of drugs in his system when he died on tour about a year ago.
Gosh, this story just always hit. We had tickets to go see them last year. My husband was so excited. I was so excited. And then Taylor Hawkins. And I'm really interested to hear this album because they said it's emotional and raw and really explores everything they went through in this past year.
And not that, you know, I'm trying to minimize, but sometimes some of the best music comes from that. I think all music really has to come from some place of a pain or a disturbance. And so I think they're sharing that experience with us. And music, I call it a soul because it can connect us. So there's definitely going to be other people out there who've experienced what they have. And this would just be another way
to connect with them
as well. Definitely.
I was trying to get tickets to their show at the Atlantis, but it sold out so fast.
Keep trying.
I'm sure. All right, today is the day. Twitter is getting rid of that legacy blue verification check marks. Users who still want the check mark will now have to pay for a subscription to Twitter Blue. Organizations can still apply for Twitter for a free check mark in a different color to show that the account is real. Some users say they're concerned this will cause more fake info to spread on Twitter. You may remember back in November when Twitter's subscription service first launched, someone made an account pretending to be drug maker Eli Lilly and tweeted that it would be offering insulin for free. Yes, more fake information is going to be out there. And if you've used Facebook anytime during the past 16 years, you could be owed money from Facebook. You can now file to get part of a $725 million settlement. It's from a class action lawsuit over third parties like Cambridge Analytica using private information without permission from users. Meta has denied any wrongdoing, but agreed to the settlement to avoid the costs and risks of continuing the case. A federal judge approved the settlement last month. A final approval hearing is set for September. Social media, the bane of our existence at this point.
I know. It's like you don't want to live with it sometimes, but you just have to.
You have to. It's part of our society. For our business, it's really important.
It is.
For a lot of businesses, obviously, that's how people market. But there's just so much. I'll scroll Twitter sometimes, and it's just it's just depressing. It's more depressing than the news.
It is. It can be a bit bombarding sometimes, but it is the way we stay connected. It's where people are getting their news and weather information, if you will. Having that check, I guess it's somewhat of like a mental pat on the back. So without that, I wonder if people are going to feel like I feel naked because I don't have my check. Right. And as far as the Facebook settlement, that says a lot. If more than $700 million is settling. If that's if those two are in the same sentence, that does say a lot. But probably by the time everybody
you're gonna get a little bit.
Maybe you'll get $5 to get you some coffee. All right. Well, maybe you saw on Facebook a cat with 40 pounds of love to give just got adopted in Richmond, Virginia. Patches, a fluffy white cat, had been looking for a new owner who could help maintain his special diet and get him to a healthy weight. It only took a few hours to find the right person after Richmond Animal Care care and control posted pictures of Patches on social media. Kristen,
so cute.
That is one of the biggest cats that I have ever seen.
I thought my cat at 20 pounds was big. That's a big one. But I'm glad that he found some love, a loving home.
And as we said, more of him to love at the more than 40 pounds.
There's a lot more of him to love. But glad, you know, the family, thank you for taking care of that kiddo.